What makes a Ford engine legendary? Is it raw power, bulletproof reliability, or a bit of both? From the engines that powered classic muscle cars to those keeping workhorses alive for decades, Ford has built some absolute gems. So which ones stand out as the most reliable of all time? Let's dive into the top 5 Ford engines you can count on. One of them might even be under your hood right now. Let's start with a classic, the Ford 300 Inline 6, also known as the Big Six. Introduced in the 1960s and staying in production for over 3 decades, this engine's the very definition of built to last. Farmers, contractors, and anyone needing a reliable workhorse swore by this engine. It powered F-Series trucks, vans, and even industrial equipment. Why? Well, it wasn't about flashy horsepower numbers. It was about unrelenting torque and simplicity. The 300 Inline 6 produced around 101 to 150 horsepower, depending on the year and application, and a healthy torque range of up to 280 pound-feet. This was perfect for towing, hauling, and enduring abuse on rugged job sites. Its secret weapon? A bulletproof cast iron block and head, low compression, and a design that prioritized reliability over complexity. Even today, you'll find these engines running strong in vintage trucks, sometimes with over 500,000 miles on the odometer. Fun fact, mechanics joke that the Ford 300 Inline 6 will keep running even if you forget to change the oil, not that we recommend testing that theory. One legendary story involves a farmer in Kansas who swore by his 1970 F-150 with the 300 Inline 6. Over 25 years, he used it to haul hay bales, tow broken down tractors, and even pull tree stumps out of the ground. He claimed the only major repair he ever did was replacing the clutch, and even that was after years of abuse. These engines didn't just power trucks, they powered family legacies, staying in service across generations. Next up, we have the engine that helped define Ford's modern era, the 4.6-liter modular V8. Introduced in 1991, this engine became the backbone of Ford's lineup for over 2 decades. Found in everything from the Crown Victoria and Mustang to the F-150 and Explorer, the 4.6-liter earned a reputation for being as reliable as your grandma's casserole recipe. The modular 4.6-liter V8 came in multiple variants, including 2-valve, 3-valve, and DOHC 4-valve configurations, but all shared a common trait: longevity. With an aluminum block in some models and cast iron in others, it struck the perfect balance between durability and performance. Horsepower ranged from 190 in the early models to over 300 in the Mustang Mach 1 and Cobra variants. What made this engine so reliable? Excellent engineering. The overhead cam design reduced stress on internal components, and it ran cool and smooth. Many police departments loved this engine in their Crown Vics because it could take endless idling, hard acceleration, and extreme conditions without skipping a beat. The 4.6-liter V8 wasn't only under the hoods of police cruisers, it also became the darling of taxi fleets in major cities like New York. Imagine stop-and-go traffic, engine idling for hours, and the occasional pedal-to-the-metal sprints through yellow lights. Crown Victorias equipped with the 4.6-liter modular were the unsung heroes of urban life. Mechanics routinely reported seeing these engines clock over 500,000 miles, with the rest of the car literally falling apart around them. It wasn't glamorous, but it was dependable in a way that made cabbies smile and fleet managers breathe a sigh of relief. But how did the 4.6-liter V8 pave the way for future Ford engines like the legendary Coyote? Stick around to find out. The modular 4.6-liter V8 was a trendsetter. Its engineering innovations, like overhead cams and aluminum components in some models, set the stage for future advancements in Ford's engine lineup. The lessons learned here directly influenced the development of the Coyote V8, proving that even engines can leave a legacy behind. Without the groundwork laid by the 4.6-liter, Ford's modern engines might have looked very different. But here's a twist you probably didn't see coming. Some of Ford's most reliable engines weren't even made by Ford. Yep, you heard that right. While Ford has built a legacy of engineering excellence, they've also been smart about teaming up with other manufacturers to develop powerhouses that could withstand the test of time. Case in point, the 7.3-liter Powerstroke diesel we just talked about wasn't entirely a Ford brainchild. It was actually developed in collaboration with Navistar International, a company with deep roots in diesel engine expertise. Think about it, Ford knew they needed a reliable heavy-duty diesel engine to compete in the growing truck market of the 90s. Instead of reinventing the wheel, they partnered with the diesel powerhouse to create what would become one of the most legendary engines in truck history. This partnership allowed Ford to combine their design vision with Navistar's engineering prowess. resulting in an engine that could haul, tow, and outlast anything else on the market. It's like the ultimate cheat code for reliability. No list of reliable Ford engines would be complete without mentioning the 7.3-liter Powerstroke diesel. This engine, introduced in 1994, became a legend among diesel enthusiasts for its insane durability and massive torque. If you've ever seen a Ford Super Duty pulling a house on wheels, there's a good chance it had a 7.3-liter under the hood. The 7.3-liter Powerstroke wasn't just for weekend warriors towing boats. It was also a favorite in commercial applications where failure wasn't an option. Ambulances, buses, and even RVs depended on this engine to run flawlessly, often under grueling conditions. In fact, Ford tested the 7.3-liter in some of the harshest environments imaginable, from the scorching heat of Arizona deserts to the bone-chilling cold of Alaskan winters. Whether it was idling for hours or hauling heavy payloads up mountain roads, this diesel was built to thrive where other engines struggled. The Powerstroke 7.3-liter cranked out up to 275 horsepower and a staggering 525 pound-feet of torque. But raw numbers only tell half the story. This engine's reliability came from its heavy-duty design, featuring a cast-iron block, forged steel connecting rods, and a direct injection system that was ahead of its time. What's more, it wasn't uncommon for these engines to surpass 1 million miles with proper maintenance. They were relatively simple by diesel standards, with fewer electronics to fail compared to modern diesels. Owners love to share stories about their 7.3-liter Powerstroke trucks surpassing 1 million miles. The numbers aren't just folklore.
Dually diesel.
Okay.
And right now it's got 1,368,000 miles on it.
They're backed by countless odometers. If a meteor struck Earth, the only survivors would be cockroaches and 7.3-liter Powerstrokes. These engines don't just endure, they thrive, often outlasting the vehicles they're bolted into. Here's one for the muscle car fans, the Ford Coyote 5.0-liter V8. Launched in 2011, this engine quickly became a favorite for its blend of power, efficiency, and rock-solid reliability. Designed as part of Ford's modular engine family, the Coyote brought modern tech to the table without sacrificing the dependability Ford V8s are known for. The Coyote debuted with 412 horsepower and has only gotten better with time, now producing upwards of 480 horsepower in newer Mustangs. It's also found in the F-150, where it's tuned for more low-end torque. The Coyote V8 is a modern marvel. Its dual overhead camshafts and variable valve timing make it a precision instrument, delivering power exactly when you need it. And while it's most famously associated with Mustangs, it's found a home in the off-road world as well. Baja racers and desert enthusiasts have turned to the Coyote for its ability to handle the brutal demands of high-speed off-road racing without missing a beat. Whether it's tearing up the streets or conquering sand dunes, this engine adapts to any challenge. Dual overhead cams, variable valve timing, and an aluminum block make it lightweight and efficient, but it's the attention to detail in its engineering that makes it a standout. Despite its high-performance capabilities, the Coyote is incredibly durable. Many Mustang owners report taking these engines well beyond 200,000 miles with routine maintenance. And thanks to its modular design, the Coyote is also a favorite for engine swaps, making it a go-to for enthusiasts building everything from classic hot rods to off-road rigs. So, what's the secret behind the Coyote's ability to handle crazy power mods without sacrificing reliability? Thanks to its robust construction, like a forged crankshaft and advanced cooling systems, the Coyote can take a beating even when heavily modified. Car enthusiasts love slapping turbochargers or superchargers on it, pushing it past 1,000 horsepower while still using it as a daily driver. It's the ultimate mix of reliability and insanity, making it a legend not just for Ford fans but for gearheads everywhere. Rounding out our list is the 5.4-liter Triton V8, another member of Ford's modular family. While the Triton often gets overshadowed by the Coyote, it's a workhorse in its own right. This engine was widely used in F-150s, Expeditions, and even the iconic Ford GT. Here's a fun bit of trivia. A heavily modified version of the 5.4-liter Triton V8 powered the 2005 to 2006 Ford GT, Ford's homage to the legendary GT40. Equipped with a supercharger, it churned out over 550 horsepower, proving that the Triton platform wasn't just for towing trailers. It could also dominate the supercar scene. The same basic engine that hauled groceries on Monday was breaking records on the track by Sunday. The 5.4-liter Triton delivered between 220 and 550 horsepower, depending on the application. It featured a cast iron or aluminum block depending on the variant, and was praised for its smooth operation and torque-heavy performance. The secret to its reliability? Like its modular siblings, the Triton benefited from excellent cooling, strong internals, and a design that reduced wear and tear over time. Owners often report these engines running strong well past 300,000 miles, provided they stay on top of maintenance. The Triton wasn't without its quirks. Early versions had issues with spark plugs, but later revisions ironed out the kinks, solidifying its place as one of Ford's most dependable V8s. The infamous spark plug issue. Early 5.4-liter Tritons had a design quirk where the spark plugs could snap during removal, turning a simple maintenance job into a mechanic's nightmare. Owners joked that changing plugs was like defusing a bomb. You held your breath and prayed. Thankfully, Ford revised the design. Later versions became far more user-friendly. Those early headaches aside, the Triton earned a reputation for being a reliable powerhouse, with countless trucks still running strong today. And there you have it, the top 5 most reliable Ford engines. From the indestructible 300 Inline 6 to the high-tech yet rugged Coyote 5.0 liter, these engines prove that reliability doesn't have to come at the expense of performance. So, which of these power plants do you think is the GOAT? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more Gearhead content, and share this video with your fellow Ford fanatics. Until next time, keep your engines running and your wheels turning.